And welcome to this edition of the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. And, Coach, a big win on Friday night.
It was. We were really pleased with the way our guys played, the coaching staff, and overall just great first game. Started out a little sluggish in the first quarter, but, all week we'd worked them in a 4-4-2 type defense, and they come out in a 5-3 stack, and just took us a few minutes to get everything adjusted. And defense came up big and got us a turnover about the 12-yard line. We just punched it in and then got rolling from there.
We'll take a look at the Cumberland County game. We'll also look ahead to this week's Coalfield matchup right after this.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender Member FDIC.
And back here on the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. And, Coach, your guys, you mentioned getting off to a little bit of a slow start. We can attribute some of that to the fact that you never got to play under the lights till Friday night.
I agree. I think that had a lot to do with it. We talked about it in the first show about not being in that jamboree and getting that under the lights experience. You always find things out, and we had to go in that first game and, came out here on Monday and Tuesday and went pretty live in the kicking game, which is something you don't want to do a lot in practice, but we felt like it was necessary to come out and be ready in our kicking game on the opening game, and I think it paid off for us.
Coach, it seemed like your offensive line just, once they started get on a roll, they just dominated Cumberland County.
Well, the thing that, we were having trouble with, and we never really got it completely fixed during the game, but when we were double teaming, we were letting that linebacker slip underneath, and either the guard or tackle, and sometimes the tackle or tight end should have been the one chipping. And which a double team, you're double teaming one guy, but you're looking to see where the other defender's coming from, and we just kept letting him slip underneath. And then the other problem we had was our wingback. Our wingback was taking the wrong angle. The way they were playing their defense, their end was staying out wide. And our wingback kept trying to go around to get that outside linebacker, and it's just a terrible angle. And once we got those things corrected, we were able to start moving the ball pretty consistently.
Your defense held them to 53 total yards. That's pretty good for a ball game.
That's unreal for the first ball game, and we've got good linebacking core, and a guy that we moved to defensive end this year. I think he just played outstanding at defensive end. Dadrick Phillips. Dadrick's been tied in, played tight end for us last year, but we've asked him to play both ways this year, and did a heck of a job at defensive end. And then I think Braden Wheeler did a good job on the other side at defensive end to keep things off our linebackers, and I was real pleased with the way those guys played.
Coach, you mentioned you worked on the special teams, and they come up big. They didn't have any big returns and did a pretty decent job not to have had a lot of work.
I think you're right. I felt like that, again, what I mentioned Monday and Tuesday paid off for us in that first ball game. And, you don't like to do kicking game live in practice, but we came out and we ran our punt team and brought, 12, 13, 14 guys trying to get to it, and just did some things to try to get a more game experience before we went in the first game. And like I said, I thought it paid off for us Friday night.
Coach, the offense, as far as your backs and everything, all pretty much even. They all had big nights.
Yeah, I feel like we can distribute the ball. I think, with Josiah and Ben Cooper at fullback, Cole Cooper, we roll him at fullback some, play him at wingback too. We're using Lathan Drake a couple different places, and Thomas Miller and Cade Brannon. There's a group of guys there. There's not a whole lot of difference in, and we're able to distribute the ball, and I think Landrick Leffey had a big night for us running the ball as well as at quarterback, and so that's a real plus to be able to kind of balance your offense and distribute the ball to different people.
And you're also able to stop them and move the ball as well with your younger kids in.
We did, and I was pleased with the way some of our second guys looked. We've got a heavy roster of sophomores, and this is going to be a great year for them to get experience and step in some of those roles and be backups, and some of them are starting for us. we started a freshman at the cornerback position Friday night, played all night there, and did a great job for us. So, we're looking at who can do the best job for us. Grade. Once you start practice, I tell our kids, there's no ninth graders, there's no 12th graders. We're just dragging football players, and we want to try to put the best 11 on the field.
And, Coach, it had to be good to get that first win and get off to a great start.
Oh, yeah, it was just, we needed that. We weren't sure exactly with what happened in the preseason. We had rainouts. We like to never got a first scrimmage, ended up going over Knox Carter, and that's probably the best work we got in the preseason. So, we went in not really sure what we were going to look like under the lights, and I really think our kids did a great job.
Well, the Dragons go on the road again this week. They travel to Coalfield, the one team, one of the non-district teams that beat them last year. They'll be looking for some revenge. We'll talk about that when we come back.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Back here with Coach Derwin Ryan. Coach, as we mentioned before the break, last year Coalfield won the two teams that beat you last year, and I know your guys would like to get some revenge on that one. They're without the quarterback that they had last year.
Well, they're a solid football team. Coach Henry and that group over there, they do a good job. They're very sound defensively and offensively. A little bit different philosophy for them this year. They're more of a come right at you football team. Remind you of the Scott County teams that Coach Diggs used to coach over there. They're in more of a T formation and doing quite a bit of stuff out of it. But they've got some weapons. Number 21, who the quarterback's number was 21. It's his younger brother. He's wearing it this year. He's at receiver, good athlete. Plays defensive back for him also. 24, 34, and 23 in the backfield, all good running backs. And number 54 on the offensive line and defensive line, he's a heck of a good player.
Coach, what do you got to do to move the ball against them?
Be consistent. We've got to make those blocks we're talking about. We got to open up the offense. They're going to stack the box. They're going to have 9, 10 in the box. So, when we play action and do things, we've got to execute and we've got to do a good job. But biggest thing is the offensive line's got to do what they did Friday night, and we've got to get those chips and those extra blocks. Defensively,
what do you got to do to stop them?
Well, we're going to, they're, like I said, they're a little more downhill. We've got to play our gap. We can't. We had a couple breakdowns Friday night that luckily things were going the other way. We had, guys that we were running a stunt, 2 guys in the same gap, and those things can beat you quick if you don't get that fixed. But overall, we've got to do a good job up front, and we've got to be ready for them to come downhill at us, and we've got to be ready to take on their run game.
Coach, we expect the Yellow Jackets special teams to be a little better maybe than the Jets. What do you got planned for them?
Well, they will be. They're like I said, they're a very well coached team. They got a lot of pride and tradition over there. So, we've got to come out and we've got to meet their intensity with intensity, and we've just got to play fundamental and play well.
Coach, any injuries to talk about from the other night?
No, that's a great plus that came out of the game injury free, and that's always a plus. We got a full pad practice today and going to get after it a little bit, but after that we're pretty much shorts, helmets, and t-shirt, or shorts and shoulder pads and going on pads. But we get some live action today and try to get ready for Coalfield.
Well, Coach, I want to mention something that's kind of the elephant in the room. You got Fair Week this week. That's always got to be a concern. I know coaches in the past really don't like Fair Week.
Well, you just don't want the guys to go over there and walk around 2 or 3 hours every night because I know they're young, but you just can't go like that all week and then step on a football field Friday night and be at 100%. So. I made a deal with them. I told them, I want them to go to the fair today. I wanted them to go last night for the fair's the fair and that type of stuff. And, flat track comes around. It starts at 6. Get out there about 8:30, 9 o'clock and get in the bed so you're ready to go on Friday because, they're going to have a fair next year and the year after. But for these seniors, this is their last chance to to play this second game and have a chance to, come back from one of our losses last year.
Coach, you had a big crowd over Cumberland County, and I know we're going to get one Coalfield, and I think there's a special start time for that one.
There is actually. I think the schedule says 6:30, but it's actually going to be 7 Central, and that'd be 8 Eastern. So Coach Winningham called me last night to let me know that, and I'll just give our folks a little bit more travel time to get there, and so we expect a big crowd there, and I think it's going to be a good hard-nosed football game.
And, Coach, you could just feel the other night that your team started to feed off that frenzy once they got started and the fans got into it.
I do. I think they got behind us, and, we went in kind of a hostile crowd as we got there. We come out of our locker room, and they had some kids with our roster making some really, really bad comments. But our boys, I told them that meant nothing. The game was played on the field, and the scoreboard did the talking for us, and they responded to that, and I think that's always the thing, but our crowd getting behind us really pumps us up, and I know we'll have a big crowd Friday night.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us, and best of luck on Friday as you head to Coalfield.
Thank you, Gary.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. Be sure to turn out Friday night at Coalfield as the Dragons take on the Yellow Jackets. Until then, for 15104 Sports, I'm Gary Clark. See you at the game.